Hi guys, here's Vivian. So hands-on, eyes down, and today we are going to open box a keyboard that just recently stole my heart because it's very tiny, but it got all the features that keyboards need to fit it in that tiny little space. So it's got gasket, aluminum case, all the 5 layers of some absorbing structures inside, 3-way connections, and it's 40% layout. It feels like you put everything in your little candy box. But today we're gonna check if this keyboard was worth it, or who will love to use those kind of keyboards, or who will actually fit in those kind of keyboards, and what's the pros and cons of it. So let's dig in with me. Okay, so just a quick open box. So first the thing, manual.
I'm not gonna say more about it because I feel like all the keyboards got the manual and
A box that full of accessories. There's a lot of things. So first of all, we've got Type-C cable, switch puller, and keycap puller. X-shot of the switches that came with the keyboard, and the L-shape driver and screwdriver. And that's everything for accessories. And the most important thing, also a dust cover and your candy box Tide 49. Okay guys, so when I first time opened this box, this is not a keyboard, this is our piece. Look at this. Okay, so this is in very simple and rounded design languages, and with the CNC aluminum case, this keyboard definitely has very nice looking outside because it's 40% layout. This whole keyboard is about 283 millimeters times 95 millimeter size, so very small. But because the aluminum case, this weight is about 1 kg, so it's definitely not a lightweight keyboard, which makes sense. I mean, aluminum. And then so when you use it, definitely gonna moving around with it. And I like how they done it very nicely with the case. So the case, they probably used anodized to put on the color, which give this aluminum a very elegant and matte kind of looking shell. So definitely fingerprint resistant, very usable for pretty long times, not gonna lose the shape for sure.
it's our piece on the table.
And you guys probably noticed that now on markets, a lot of keyboard companies, like higher class keyboard companies, they are using aluminum as the case for the keyboards.
And it definitely raised the price a little bit.
But why they all choose aluminum for the keyboard case? So that's the one word, texture. So it's not only looks really nice, it definitely used longer than the plastic keyboards, and it will not gonna lose the shape. And most of them are fingerprint resistant. Depends how they print up the color. And also with some absorbing materials inside of the keyboards, the keyboard definitely sounds different and sounds better than a lot of the plastic keyboards. And that's the reason. Okay guys, so the Tide 49 is in 40% layout, only the 49 keys. As you guys can see, there's no number rows, no F rows. If you get used to like the numbers and the F rows, then this keyboard you probably need to use some time to use it. But don't worry, even though it's not showing on the keyboard, the FN will get you there. And for Tide 49, it got VIA programmable, so you can set any of the keys you wanted, how to get there, where you want to place it. You can choose the way. And you guys probably wondering, who would use 40% layout keyboards? Well, let me tell you, a 40% layout, if you get used to a smaller layout keyboards, unlike 80% or 75% layout keyboards, you have to reach far to get to the keys that you needed. A 40% layout keyboards, all the keys is around your hand, especially with the VIA programmable, you can set all the keys even closer to your hands. And you don't have to reach far. You can save more space for your coffees, for your mouse, and for your cat friends. So that's the reason. Okay guys, after we check out the surface of this keyboard, it's time, before we get to the sole, let's get to the keycaps and the switches for a bit. So let's check out the keycaps. So the material is the PBT. 5-side dice up for sure. Gives a little matte texture of this keycaps. I really like the color combo of the keycaps. It's really colorful, just like the candy. And now we are getting into the switch. So it's our old friend Epomaker Zebra switch. Accuracy force I believe was 40, bottom force was 45, pre-travel probably 1.8, I remember correctly. And the sound. So basic linear switch. Okay, so let's put on more out of the keycaps and the switches, and just quickly look through for the blades. So Tide 49 is actually hot swappable, so you can replace any of the 3-pin or 5-pin switches if you don't like zebra. And RGB is south facing RGB. Okay, so we are now going to get to the cord of Tide 49, which is inside of it, and we're gonna use the tool that they give us and to open it up. Okay guys, so the top case is also made with aluminum, anodized black, very nice and smooth. And inside of the okay, now we are getting into the bottom case. It is also made with aluminum, anodized, and we've got 2.4 dongles right here. That's a little magnets to hold on that, and we've got on and off buttons that's attached to the PCB. And we've got the batteries right here, 3,000 milliamp batteries. And with the lights on, probably 10 hours. What they shows on the website is with the lights on, probably 10 hours. With the lights off, probably 100 hours. So that stays pretty long on that. And also pretty heavy on that. Okay, so for the sound absorbing structures inside of the keyboard, we've got this PET installation pad on the bottom, which is the shiny part, and the top of that is the pour-on case foam to fill in the space between the PCB and the bottom case. And we've got the PCB, and then we got the PET sound enhancement sheet, which is this one. It's very thin, very, very thin. And on the top of that is the switch sheet, also another very thin layers right here. And on the top of that is another layer of the PET film. Gosh, it's so thin. Hope you guys can see it. And on top of that is the pour-on foam, another layer to fill in the space between the plates and the PCB. And finally, we are getting into the FR4 plate, and that's all the layers inside of the keyboard. Okay, so back to the top, we've got the structure for the Tide 49 is the gasket structure. We can see that we got the little sockets, and unlike the PC plate, FR4 is a little hard, but it makes even more elegant. And we've got the stabilizer right here. Let me move the switch a little bit, and we can see the stabilizer is factory lubed. We can see the oil inside of it, so pretty well lubed stabilizer. Okay guys, now we are getting into pros and cons. So who would use this kind of keyboards? Like if you like a smaller layout keyboards, or you don't really need F rows or number rows, if you like a clearer setup, then Tide 49 is worth to try because it got all the keys that you needed. With the VIA programmable, you can set to this keyboard to very simple layouts, and you don't really need to move your hands a lot. That's pretty nice for the side of the Tide 49. But if you are the people who need to be using F rows a lot, use number rows a lot, then I stress you to try a bigger layout keyboards, because before you get used to a small layout, FN plus QWERTY, those rows, it might take some time to get used to it, and you probably will forget if you don't use it in a while. So That's pretty simple. So overall guys, Epomaker Tide 49 is a tiny keyboard but with a massive ambition. So it got the looks, the feel, the sound profile, and the flexibility. So if you want to clean up your decks a little bit, or you want to explore the compact layout keyboards world, then Tide 49 should be a pretty solid choice for you. If you guys liked today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, hands on, eyes down. Let's keep on typing.